Tapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 40. This one, we're talking about guilty pleasures, whether it's music, movies, TV shows, food. We're going to talk about them all. We all have them.
Yeah, man.
And we're going to come clean.
Yeah. We're officially middle-aged, 40. We're number 40 now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, Damo, let's start off for you. Let's start off with the obvious music.
Okay, this is one. When I'm in my car and I just feel like listening to the radio, because usually I'll just put something on Spotify or I'll listen to a podcast or like the satellite radio. But if I'm listening to like the regular terrestrial radio in my car, I have some, I could program, I don't know, like half a dozen radio stations in my car. And one of them, one station I like so much that I have a program takes up 2 spots. I don't know why, but, and it's pretty funny. Like sometimes Donna will come in my car, and she'll comment on it. Like, what the hell are you listening to? But there's a DJ that I particularly like. Her name is Lady B. And the station is 107.9. And it's basically, it's old school 80s, early mid 90s R&B.
Here you go.
And some really old school rap. And dude,
So
on Friday nights,
like Power 99.
Yeah, well, that's not around anymore, right?
No, I don't think it is.
Well,
I still love Power 99.
Okay, well, it's pretty much that.
Potato.
Well, I think she was a DJ for that.
It almost sounds familiar, Lady B, for some reason.
Yeah, well, she was the first female. She had the first female rap song back in the 70s. So now she's like a Philly DJ. But dude, I love listening to her, like, because she talks about she always has the music playing in the background while she talks. She's schooling me on like old school R&B, and then she'll she'll do a she'll take real quick, she'll pose like some question. I like kind of like your 10 questions that you do.
Yeah.
At the end, she'll pose like a question like that, and she'll take calls real quick from callers. And then I am so tempted to call up one day just to, because she'd probably be very surprised that she has somebody like me as a fan. But I follow her on Facebook and everything. But I just love that station, and she's pretty much like, there's a few other DJs on there, but she's like the Pierre Robert. She's like the main one.
Right.
She's on
Pierre
all the time.
Robert.
But especially on Friday, I love when I come home from work. It's like rush hour, Friday night jams or whatever. I don't even know what the hell they call it, but they go from one song to the next. It's like being in like some like 80s disco or something. But man, I just love it. She'll play like a lot of
I'm picturing like El DeBarge.
Dude, yeah. She'll go from El DeBarge to like En Vogue.
And whips up Big Daddy Kane out of nowhere.
Right. Houdini. You'll get some Houdini. Yes. And then you'll get
Houdini. I love Houdini.
SWV.
Freaks come out at night.
SWV.
It's like everything. And like I wasn't a fan of that back then, but
now it's
really
different. Yeah.
It's I got a great appreciation for it, and it's fun, and it puts me in a good mood, and it's totally different than anything I listen to. And I listen to that more, and I listen to MMR or some other station that you would think I would listen to, but that's my one of my music guilty pleasures.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's like going back to what you were saying. Yeah, all that stuff now that I went to listen to in the 80s, I love now.
Yeah.
I love now. Like all that stuff I thought was like hokey back then. I totally enjoy it now because the music today is not fun.
Right. Well, this stuff is even the stuff in the 90s, like when I was in high school, all the kids in school was listening to that stuff. Belle Biv DeVoe and shit like that, and they play that stuff all the time on the radio station. And I love it, but back then, man, I hated it more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now I'm like a big fan.
You need something a little uplifting once in a while.
Yeah,
And this is coming from me.
Yeah. Miserable prick.
But it's like everything. You listen to so much Alice in Chains and stuff like that, and you start to get in that doom and gloom mood all the time. It's like you got to change the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus, you're familiar with a lot of these songs, but it's also, when you listen to it, it's almost like something brand new, even though you're slightly
because
familiar.
You really didn't pay attention to it.
Well, yeah, you're listening to it like 30 years later,
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. You mentioned Belle Biv DeVoe. My wife's got this thing that she does to me all the fucking time. If anybody says, now you know, Belle Biv DeVoe, like, she sets me up for it all the time. So last time she fucking set me up for it, I sent her a fucking picture. I didn't even say it. I just sent the picture,
Yeah.
But that's her thing, now you know.
Right.
Like, what? Belle Biv DeVoe. All right. It's been going on for months. She don't stop.
It's
not funny no more.
What's up, chicken butt?
Yeah, it's not funny no more. Mike, guilty pleasure music.
Music, man. I mean, I could probably pull them out of my asshole, right? But
yeah, we're gonna go around.
I'm gonna start with one, because they're kind of in the little spotlight right now, mini spotlight, but Sparks, and that's a band for probably. They got some bizarre stuff out there, but
is that the band Sparks?
Yeah, they're like a big influence on a lot of early stuff. But
yeah,
I don't like all their stuff, but they have a couple of later albums, like in the early 2000s, which are just pretty kind of bizarre. That you put them on, you wouldn't want people to know you're listening to this stuff. It's pretty out there, but it's fun. I don't even know what the hell to make. It's operatic. It's anti-mainstream, I guess you want to call it, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I think the two of them they're brothers. I don't know, fictional or if they're real brothers. I'm not sure.
Well, they just did a documentary on them. I didn't see it.
I got to check
name
that
sounds
out.
familiar.
Yeah.
Well, I found out from them, like, actually it was like I was getting Faith No More stuff, and Faith No More did a couple songs with them. So that's how I found out about them. And I mean, every once in a while, it's like when I'm in the mood, I'll throw on some Sparks and just sit back and chill.
You can keep those.
Have you checked it out?
I have no interest in the Sparks.
Is it Sparks with a K or with an X at the end?
I believe it's an X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about them. I would watch the documentary because they're off the wall, so it might be interesting. I'll watch any documentary though. Okay, for me, music. Man, since I was young, I always liked this band, and this band was totally different than anything else I listened
We
to.
talk about Kiss all the time.
Not Kiss. It's still one of my favorites. Duran. I love Duran. I always did.
What's so guilty about that, though, man?
Well, because it's not my wheelhouse, really.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess.
It's a guilty. It's something I like that I probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
like
I guess for people who don't know you that well, it would be.
It'd be a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it, man.
I love them.
Yeah, the first 4 or 5 records, whatever. Then it fell off a little bit. Then they got back together. He had that other big record that came out with Ordinary World on it, and that was great, man. There's something about that band, man. I mean, they're just great.
Well, their last record came out 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Paper Gods.
Yeah,
dude, it's great, really, really good, and to one of the few new records from like what do you want to call them, a legacy act?
Yeah.
That I actually listened to quite a bit, and I own it, and really good. And they actually have a new record coming out soon. They released a single, and it's really good.
Dame, anything else with music? Any other surprises here?
Yeah, I actually might not be a surprise, but sort of in the same realm as what I mentioned earlier. But I'm a big fan of 70s disco. I'm a big disco fan, dude. I love it. I absolutely love it. Not so much like the Village People type stuff. That to me, that seemed like kind of like almost like comedy,
Yeah,
like a joke. Like
you're more
I
like a
couldn't really-
MacArthur's Park, like one of those.
yeah, you know, like Donna Summer, shit like that, man.
Guess what?
You know,
Donna Summer's awesome.
and the Bee Gees, I don't even put the Bee Gees in that category either,
No,
because they're more like, you know, very respected songwriters and stuff. But you know, you put like, you know, I can't even think, because a lot of these were like one hit wonders. But
Yeah.
you know,
Born to Be Alive, like that, them kind of
yeah,
songs.
yeah. I mean, I just love that stuff.
Yeah, man. That I agree. I like it more now than I ever did. Mike
Yeah.
Day.
Absolutely, man. I like definitely like the Bee Gees and stuff like that. Like I grew up with them, like when I was a kid, listening to some of that stuff with the Saturday Night Fever and all that. But then when you get older, you're kind of like, they're a comedy act, you know, and all that. But like now you start to appreciate it more when you get older.
Yeah.
Well, I think the BJs might have hit the way, you know, Kiss hit.
BJs.
BJs.
What are you thinking about that?
Where's my head at?
Yeah.
The Bee Gees. I think like they're like, I mean, did their fans consider them, because they were like songwriters? Did their fans go, shit, the BJs went, the Bee Gees
Oh
went
my God, man.
No, I think it was, I think with them, you know, it was like a whole backlash towards a genre of music. It was everything that was disco was like dead. It was sort of like, I couldn't really compare them to Kiss. I would compare the whole disco movement scene as almost like the 80s, like LA hair band thing, you know, like when the 90s rolled around, everything was dead. Everything aside from like a couple survivors, literally, maybe.
Yeah.
Anything that was disco was dead. But you know, they had a resurgence. They started writing songs for people in the 80s.
Yeah.
And
you know what's weird? Casablanca is around now, which I didn't know till I seen Gene Simmons' daughter Sophie is on Casablanca.
It's almost like a dance label.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't even know who owns it now, who runs it now, but I seen it. I mean, Casablanca, that was the record label for us when we were kids. That's the one, you know.
Yeah, that was the main one. Yeah.
Mike Day, music, guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. I gotta go with Frank Zappa, and
yeah,
I don't really look at that as a guilty pleasure because I think it's really good, but it took me a while to get into it. Yeah, it's acquired taste. You know, when you're young, you look at this guy with this big mustache, and the mustache.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this must be a joke. And you listen to it, you're like, wow, this is kind of jokey. And, you know, got toilet humor. When you get older, you kind of appreciate the music more of it. You appreciate like his voice. It's really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love Zappa. I didn't get into Zappa until my mid-20s. And I didn't understand it. And then I finally started to understand it. And I would sit down with like Tony Mecca and we could talk like 2 hours just on Frank Zappa, like with no problem. Like he's like a Zappa guy. You know?
Even stuff like Captain Beefheart too, you know, if you want to.
Beefheart's interesting. Beefheart's neat, but it's fucking really off the wall. It's more off the wall than Zappa.
Oh, it's very abstract.
Yeah. But Zappa's kind of funny. He's tongue in cheek. He's funny.
Right. He has a sense of humor.
It's really good. It's so off the wall, but it all makes sense. If you listen to a couple of the records and you go, okay, I get it, you know?
Especially like a lot of his live stuff. Like you get like, I mean, it's like different every time. Like you hear stuff.
Okay, I got one for me. Total out of my box. Parliament. I fucking love Parliament. I don't know why. I fucking love it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they're another one. They're like
man.
Yeah, they're like a fun kind of party funk band, you know. It's
so good. Like Bootsy Collins is a beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were like the funk side. Like you had like rock, like Frank Zappa doing the rock stuff back then. That was like kind of abstract and crazy, and then you had them doing kind of like the funk stuff, abstract.
Right. They were
crazy.
To me, they were a mix between Kiss and Frank Zappa. Out of control. It was just insane.
Yeah,
but
with a funk version of it.
With a funk version of it. Yeah, they would dress up all crazy, but at the same time had these real, you know, complicated parts. And, you know, I mean, you listen to that stuff and you go, wow. You know, it's so good, man. So good. All right, Damo, let's move on to movies. Some guilty pleasure from movies. Actually,
this will be like in the TV kind of entertainment thing, but I actually like watching. It's probably because of Donna too. but I watch it when she does. I don't go searching for it, but I don't complain about this, but I actually enjoy watching like TMZ, and there's a show after that. It's called Dish Nation. It's sort of like the urban version of TMZ. It's sort of like the hip hop world,
like world news.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so fucking stupid. Some of these people, they're famous for being idiots, but I just I like watching them be stupid. You know, like it's a guilty pleasure for sure.
Yeah, it's out of the box. Mike D.
I mean, I'm just a big fan of bad movies in general, like just movies that aren't trying to be bad, but just
are bad,
miss the mark. You know, like take like The Room. Like this guy tried to come out and write this blockbuster movie, and it just
I still got to check that out.
You haven't seen that yet?
No.
Yeah, man, get your girlfriend together and watch that movie with her.
Yeah.
These will probably be either drunk by the end of it or pissing yourself. But yeah, man, like just like stuff like, remember the Mystery Science Theater, stuff like that. Like they would find these movies and rip on them and stuff like that's another great one, like The Man from Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just love those bad movies, man.
I love bad B horror movies. I'm sure we all do. Like, when you went back in the day, when you go to the, not even Blockbuster, before Blockbuster, we used to go to the old video stores, the neighborhood video stores. You used to go in there and you used to get 2 or 3. You look at the cover and go, yeah, I'll try this, basket case and shit. That's
basket cases. Basket cases, we actually watched it for the first time. I never saw it until like a couple months ago. We watched it. And I thought it was almost like brilliant.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, that movie is like a cult movie. The first one was really good.
Yeah.
It was pretty twisted.
What, there's a second one?
Oh,
I think there's 3 of them at least.
Oh my God.
What was his name? Belial was the brother?
Dude, I haven't seen that in years. I mean, years, but I love that movie.
It was something like that. Yeah.
I think it was Belial.
Yeah, wasn't there a band with the same name or something?
Probably,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Do you remember another one back in the day? It was called like Extro.
No.
I don't remember that one.
And it was an alien movie. And it wasn't great. The one thing I remember was like this alien impregnated this woman. And she gave birth to a full man.
Yeah, dude, there's so many good ones, man. Did you ever see Rocktober Blood?
No.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, Mark Dempsey, Mike. Me and Mark used to love that show. We would bring it in, to the store, and we used to put it on the VHS player. And it was like, it's like the singer who dies but comes back. It's so bad. It's so bad. But all those B movies, man, I just like them. I still watch them. I'll go on Netflix and look for the B movies. Or even, I mean, it's your fault. I got Shudder now. I got Shudder.
Great. That's full. But there's some pretty good ones on there.
You get lucky. You know which one I started watching? I haven't finished. Something called Denim, or something. I think it's called Denim. It's about jeans, these killer jeans or something.
Oh my God! All right,
dude. But the best B movie. Did you ever see Teeth?
No.
It's about the girl who's got a teeth in her vagina.
I heard about that.
It's actually a good movie. It's actually a good movie. Like guys try and take, they try and take, control over whatever, and she fucking gets them with the teeth.
Oh my God! Okay.
Yeah. And then she falls in love with this dude. But
that might turn you to the other side after that, man. That might make you play for the other team.
Right. Yeah.
Worth watching. Teeth. Dave, any other movies? What do you got?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I might have mentioned before, I'm really into like these 70s blaxploitation films.
Yeah, they're usually cool.
It's like Pam Grier. She's like she was like the the big heroine, I guess. Female action star, and then like guys like Fred Williamson and
Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah, guys like that. Carl Weathers was actually in a lot of earlier,
yeah,
he was in a lot of them. Billy D. Williams was in a few, like when he was getting his start. a lot of like the ex-football players.
Yeah.
Who's shit.
Like
Who's the
Tuco
other guy?
Jones?
Nah. Jim Brown.
Oh, Jim Brown. Yeah,
Jim
yeah,
Brown.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
in a lot of them. Movies like Shaft and Superfly and Coffee, and man, they're just like
It's that
they're just a lot of
70s
fun.
thing.
But
It's that
there was
70s
one.
thing, man.
Yeah, there was one. The guy who played Spawn. What the hell's his name?
Mike, recent Spawn, like Michael Jawai.
Yeah, him. He wrote and starred in this movie. Came out about 10, 12 years ago called Black Dynamite.
Oh, it was awesome. I seen
You
Black
saw it?
Dynamite.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Well, that was dude, that was perfect. And man, if somebody wants to recreate like a throwback movie, that guy did it, because they shot it on like film that they used from the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's got that, and this is before, there's no filters or nothing. They use actual, equipment, and like the clothes, everything was spot on. It was everything, like just the whole premise of the movie was so like 70s.
Was there a character named Cream of Corn in that?
Cream Corn.
Cream of Corn.
Tommy Davidson. Yeah.
I remember. Dude, you know what else reminded me of them kind of movies? Remember Pootie Tang?
Yeah.
That reminded me of that too.
Yeah.
That had that feel too. But Black Dynamite was great. It was great,
yeah.
man. Cream of Corn.
Cream Corn.
I can't believe I remember that. That's crazy. Mike D.
There was a movie back in the day, and I don't know if anybody remembers it. Probably the biggest star in the movie was Ernest Borgnine. And
sounds familiar.
It was called Super Fuzz. And this cop gets these powers. I don't know if he goes over some kind of nuclear testing area when he was chasing this criminal. And it gives him all these superpowers. And like, if he sees the color red, the powers go away. But it used to be on, like, back in the day, it used to be on HBO a lot. And we used to take everything that came on. So that was like always one of my favorite ones. And like, I actually found it and downloaded it like a few years ago, and I actually watched it a couple times since. And I'm like, you know what? This movie brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Nobody ever, you didn't see that one?
Nah, was it as good as you remember it though?
It was as wacky as I remember it. Yeah. I mean, there's like, I remember like a lot of stuff like scene for scene and stuff, like, so it wasn't like really even a letdown watching it again.
Well, when I was a kid, I remember on Cinemax, it used to come on like all the time. Was Frankenhooker?
Oh, it was great. Frankenhooker was great.
I haven't seen that in years.
It was like a reanimator, bro, like a hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I watched it. It ended up on Shudder, and I watched it a couple months ago, and it was entertaining. It definitely brought back some memories and stuff, but man, it was not as good as I remember it being.
What the hell was that?
It
that your ass?
I think, it was
It was like a
chair,
like a robot
upstairs. Yeah. That's how sensitive his mic is.
Do you remember Caninus?
No. Canine.
It was the cult of the Caninus, and it was it was pretty bad. Like, I just remember this one scene in this movie where this guy in the motorcycle is chasing the guy in the car, and the guy on the motorcycle is kicking the car off the road. I don't know how that happens, but it was.
How
great.
can that happen?
It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I never
the
seen
car
that.
off the road.
I never seen that. I like all those high school movies. I get a kick out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the American Pies, and even go back, like you said, the Teen Wolves and all that stuff.
But you know what's funny about the high school movies? When you look back at them now, you're like, this kid ain't no high school.
Oh, they're
Right.
all old.
He's like 28 years old.
Yeah, well,
He
yeah,
ain't no high school kid.
Teen Wolf, the dude Mick. He's like the
30-something.
villain, the bully. Dude's like, 30 years old. It's like, come on.
Dude, last week when we were doing the podcast and you mentioned Teen Wolf and you went into that whole like describe it, I don't know if you watched it. I laughed my ass off doing it. I watched it back when I did the editing. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, Damien's killing me right now. Hey, Scott, all them movies, man. All those kind of, even like the teen horror movies, and
Yeah.
like the prom nights and all that stuff.
Prom night was great.
Prom night was great. Remember Terror? Do you remember Terror Train? I used to be afraid of that when I was a kid.
No.
Jamie Lee Curtis. It was about the train and people getting killed.
Sounds familiar. Was it like right after Halloween? Right around that time?
Yeah, it was probably after that. Yeah, it was probably early 80s. But Hell Night, all that stuff.
You remember the Night of the Creeps?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh,
That was
with
good.
those little eels, they go into your mouth and turn you into that zombie.
The Ghoulies. Remember the Ghoulies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Ghoulies. Fucking funny, man. Yeah, for me also, it's them crazy, coming of age movies. I always get a kick out of. They're always, Porky's, like fucking Porky's, probably my favorite comedy of all time. It's so funny. It's still like an R rating. It's not, but Porky's is one of the best, man.
Yeah,
that's one of the best. All right, Damo, reality TV. What's your guilty pleasure of reality TV?
Man, I actually haven't watched any in a while, but there was a good run, 2005 to like 2012-ish, where I used to watch them all the time. But like the Bret Michaels one,
the Rock of Loves and stuff like
dude,
that.
I still watch that all the time, and it's so bad.
Dude, if you watch on Pluto TV, they have the curses and all in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was watching them. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, they played all the time. There's curses. It's all like,
curses.
Some new. Mike, you're no fucking fun, you miserable prick.
Yeah, I want to see the curses. I want to hear the curses.
How do I hang out with this guy? He's no fun.
Who do I hear curses for? Who cares? It's bad stuff anyway, guys. Fucking curses.
This guy's miserable. He don't like the reality TV.
The uncensored version.
That's right. I want the uncensored version. I want to see the titties fly.
Uncensored, yeah.
Miserable prick. What do you like in reality shows?
I hate reality.
No shit.
Like I don't know. I just like it makes me want to like vomit watching
Judge Judy.
It's just
Judge Judy.
Is that reality? I don't know.
She lays it down.
Yeah.
I just can't watch it. Like I wanted to
Celebrity Fit Club.
We were talking about. Remember the Ozzy was like one of the first ones I think that had one as like celebrities and stuff. And I really, really wanted to say, I love Ozzy Osbourne, but that show created a fucking mess. It just took over the TV.
Yeah,
everything. Every channel you turn to Discovery Channel, reality shows. You don't even get stuff. You don't get like anything Discovery anymore. You discover more reality shows.
Yeah, well, it kind of killed like the sitcom, in a way. I mean, remember
it killed everything. It's a
channel,
fucking disease, man.
They all had like sitcoms. Every and
then like
curses, a drama.
Fuck reality TV. How's that for curses? Fuck reality TV.
Yo, he would come into my house. My sister-in-law. She's the queen of trash TV. She loves all that shit, dude. She's got me watching stuff that I would never watch because, like, Project Runway, I'm watching. Because she watched it, now I'm watching it. You just fall into it.
I don't look at I don't look at that stuff as like reality TV in a certain sense. That's more like a show, a game show, or whatever.
Master or something like that.
I don't look at that as reality TV. I look like that poster behind in Jersey. That's like the epitome of shit reality TV.
I love it.
So anything where there's a competition isn't really.
So I guess the competition not
like Survivor. I don't look at, even though they consider it reality TV. I don't think Survivor is. That's more of a game show. I like Survivor.
Yeah. So going back to my story, he would walk in my house and he would see on TV like. She would have like all like these kind of little people shows, and she would, how many fucking little people shows are there? There's like a ton of them, 7 Little Johnsons or whatever the fuck they're called, which is a great name, or he'll walk in and the lady that's 500, my 500-pound fiance, or one of those shows.
Yeah, my 500-pound life or something.
Yeah, and it's like,
and you get these people, and they're on there. I don't know what to do. I want to lose weight. And they're sitting there eating this big ass chicken ball. Well, what do you mean you don't know what to do? Put the fucking chicken down.
I route them up.
They make me angry, those shows. See?
How about Hoarders? Dude, that's. I mean, is that like a train wreck, man?
I can watch that. I mean, that's that. But I don't look at that as really. I don't know. Is that real?
Yeah.
I look at reality TV for me. It's like usually the same bunch of people.
Yeah, Real World.
Week in, week out, right?
Yeah.
That's. But like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they consider that other stuff like a reality TV show, but I don't know. I watched some of these. What about the Strange Addictions? Oh my god!
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Then there was that one with the guy with the real lifestyle. Did you see that?
What is it?
He was addicted to his real lifestyle.
The sex
doll? And he was, they show you. I forget which show it was. I don't know. But he would come home from work, man. He had the doll. He had the table waiting for him, and then he'd come over and he'd change the clothes of the doll, and he'd serve it food and stuff like that. and then he changed it in the bedtime clothes. And he's like, my friends think this is weird. He's like, but I see nothing wrong with this.
Yeah, fucking straight jacket. He needs a straight jacket.
There was the girl that would eat tape. She just eat like, you know.
Yeah, there was one that would eat dirt.
Yeah, this girl was, and another one. The girl was eating.
It's a real show.
From this. Yes, she's eating a sponge from the sofa. They show you her. She's driving to work, and she's got a bowl of sponge next to her, and she's just going.
I gotta look at the show. The show sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, dude, it's fucking bizarre.
It's on my list now. For me, Jersey Shore. I love it. I watch it all the time.
I can't do it.
I love it.
Can't do it.
I love it.
I come in your house and that show's on. I'm like, my skin's crawling. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
They're like my peeps. I like it.
Yeah.
And I've seen when it first came out, I saw a couple, and then it was just like, I'm not the type that's going to say, oh, it's degrading to Italian people, but that show was degrading to Italians.
Yeah. Well,
I love
hey, they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
You know. But now, yeah, you got a bunch of people thinking every Italian guy is like the Jersey Shore.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck.
And now, I mean, some of these shows, it's like watching a car crash. Like they're so bad, you just can't turn away.
I like all them celebrity shows. Like, remember Surreal World? I used to like that. I used to get a kick out of that.
Surreal Life.
Surreal Life. That's it.
Yeah. I still like that one too.
They were a mess, but they were, you know, who was the little guy that passed away? The guy from Austin Powers. Troy
Vern.
Yeah, Troy Vern.
Yeah.
Like, he was a mess.
Pity me.
He was a mess on that show. Peeing all over. He was a mess. Little perv.
How about the those, you know, addiction, you know, sober shows with the famous people? Steven Adler was in it.
Oh, celebrity rehab.
Yeah. So those were like pretty
crazy.
Freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, all that stuff's freaking
Celebrity
wild,
Fit
man.
Club I used to like.
Yeah.
Because they had me rooting for people.
Yeah. How about
I mean, come on. Now, in probably 5 minutes or less, we must have rattled off about 20 of them.
Yeah.
That means there's too many. And we could probably still go on for another 15 minutes mentioning in another 100 shows without ever taking a fucking pause.
Dude, they have one about an ice
TV.
truck. I'm like, all kinds of shit that I'm like, and here's the thing for me, I'll watch 5 minutes of it, then all of a sudden I catch myself an hour later. I'm still watching the damn thing, you know. I want to see what happens.
I mean, like all that, like the Duck Dynasty.
He's on
stuff.
fire.
Like, I have no interest in this shit.
Yeah, there was one. It was sort of like Duck Dynasty, but not. It was like this this turtle guy. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
His name might be like Turtle Man or something, but he lives down like out in the fucking
in the
bayou.
sea?
No, like in the bayou, like in Louisiana or something. So there's like a translator, you know, like subtitles come up because you can't even understand what this guy's saying, but it's like
awesome.
him and two other guys, and basically
I'm just picturing a turtle translator.
No. People
He's got an accent.
Yeah, he's got a really thick accent. So people call him up when there's
speaks in turtle.
When there's like a turtle in, you know, or some crazy like a raccoon or something, but his name is like Turtle Man or something. So they call him up and he goes like into the ponds, like, you know, on these farms, and he rescues these turtles and brings them back, or like skunks and all kinds of like wildlife and shit. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah, there's so many of them, man. Damo, food. What's some of your guilty pleasures?
Gas station chicken. Royal Farms to be precise. That is my all-time favorite chicken.
It's actually
How do you know it's Royal Farms? Like, what do you mean by gas station? Is it like the one on the heat lamp type of thing, or?
Nah, it's like Royal Farms is you don't see too many of them in Philly. There's like one in Northeast Philly, I think, but I think they originated like out in Maryland, but now they're coming up north. They're like in they're in Jersey now, and they're coming into different parts of Pennsylvania. But it's basically like a Wawa. It's a gas station, and they have food in the inside. But it actually did win like the best gas station chicken, you know, somewhere. But it's fucking great. Better than KFC. Better than any chicken that people rave about. I get it all the time. Every time I go by, I have to stop and get their chicken.
That's crazy.
Well,
I get the chicken breast, and then they have this Chesapeake sauce. It's called. So yeah, I get that, man. Dip it in there. Oh my god, it's so good.
No shit. And it's from the gas station.
Yeah,
Wow.
Royal Farms.
Yeah, I don't even know the place. Wow. Mike D.
I'm going to say, hey, since he's on the chicken right now, the 7-Eleven, they have the orange chicken. And man, they have a bunch of different flavors. It's sriracha. Srirachas are pretty good. Orange chicken, man. That's the shit.
It's the gooey part that's good.
It's the gooey, and then it's got it's usually burnt a little bit on it, so it's got that crunch to it. Oh, it's so good.
Is that almost like a Mandarin kind of
Like
yeah,
Asian.
like that. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And they don't have it. It must sell out like really quick. It's like when you see it, you're like, oh my God, they got it. It's been sitting there probably for 3 hours. I'm going to fucking get it because they got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, next time you go there, you see the orange chicken, grab an orange chicken.
You know what?
Why are you laughing so much?
Food guilty pleasure is pretty much anything in 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the 7-Eleven ghost pepper peanuts.
I don't think
I haven't seen them yet.
That good, yeah.
And yeah.
I'm going to have to look
And they
tomorrow.
are hot. They are hot. And like I said before, like ghost pepper stuff, I'm very leery, not because it's so hot, because usually it's not. I think they just use the name as I got those, the Pockies, those nachos or whatever. Last week I got the ghost pepper Pockies.
Like the whole bag of it?
Yeah.
Or like
the whole bag.
They have
Extremely hot. I was like, I ate them, was like, this isn't hot. This is nothing. But the ghost pepper peanuts from 7-Eleven are legitimately hot.
Dude, for me, ketchup. I love ketchup on almost everything.
You're disgusting with ketchup. You are really, really disgusting.
When I order food, I'm like, make it look like soup.
You make me. I don't even use ketchup because of you.
I like the ketchup. Yeah.
You douse them.
Oh my God, man!
Douse like French fries with ketchup.
It's like French fry ketchup soup.
Dude, and I was hanging out with Steve the other day, and we ordered Chinese food or whatever. So, and I told him, I was like, dude, you got to get. I'm going to mention these before. You got to get the chicken lo mein or any kind, or even vegetable lo mein, and you put the fucking Parmesan cheese on it, like the macaroni cheese. It's fucking awesome.
Really? Where'd you get that idea from?
I'm not big on lo mein.
I just put it on there.
I love lo mein.
Lo mein does nothing for me for some reason. It's kind of boring to me.
I love it.
Dame, put the macaroni cheese on the lo mein.
Huh.
Unfucking believable. That and another.
I'll try it on a small.
Try it, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. And the other weird thing that I do, if you have like a salad, right, and you put Italian dressing on it, and I put the La Choy soy sauce on it. I hit it up with some soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Yeah, soy sauce. I call it soy
Okay.
sauce. And that's fucking
Soy
awesome.
sauce.
Yeah.
It could be a salt thing. I don't know. But
Soy.
Yeah.
it's good, man. How about your sweets? What's your little guilty pleasure on sweets, Damo?
Yeah.
Like, what could you go for right now?
Well, candy bars.
Anything.
I'm really into. My favorite is Twix.
Twixes are good.
Twix and Kit Kats. My all-time favorite, and they're kind of hard to find. Are whatchamacallits.
Oh, dude, I know
I have them on my
ton of
store.
them.
They have the girl version of it now.
What's that called?
I don't know if it's the girl, but it's called the Hoosie Watsons.
Who's he?
I'm serious.
Is it the same company?
Same company, similar packaging,
Same bar?
I forget the flavor of it.
It's a little more peanut buttery, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've only seen it at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to find. I mean, you'll find them once in a while, but they don't turn up everywhere.
Yeah, dude, they all got smaller. They look like they were a lot bigger when we were.
No, we got bigger.
And we got bigger. Yeah,
We got bigger.
they look tiny, like the Chunkies. You ever see? Remember the
That's
Chunkies?
why.
back in the day?
That's why
yeah.
they came out with the jumbo bar now.
I like the.
They
jumbo
still make
now.
Chunkies?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but they're small. They're like fucking that
No,
big.
I don't
Really?
think they are. I think we're bigger. I think we're bigger.
I remember when I was a kid, like all the candy bars back then were like 50 cents, but Chunkies was like 75 cents.
Yeah,
And I was like, why am I going to pay 75 cents for this little candy bar? I
Yeah.
mean, it's thicker. It's like twice as thick, but still,
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Mike D, sweets.
I mean, guilty pleasure for me, nerd rope. Nerds on a rope. Oh my god, man. Love it.
Crazy.
You put a
nerds
bag
in
of
general
like
are
nerd
great.
on a rope in front of me. It's gone in a second.
We were talking about the nerd cereal at one time, which I don't really remember, but Mike said he remembered them.
It was good, man. Nerd cereal
Vaguely
was pretty
remember
good.
that. Yeah.
I think they had it was like might have been grape and strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was like it's just like the nerds, and one on one side and the other on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally don't remember that. For me, if we're going like candy bar and stuff like that, I like a lot of the like peanut butter and chocolate kind of stuff like the Reese's, but every once in a while I want a zero bar. Do you ever have a zero bar?
Nah.
It's like a white bar. It's like a white chocolate bar. And I really don't
I thought you were going to say cupcakes.
That's my go-to. That's a given.
I've seen some pretty strange things involving him in cupcakes.
Love cupcakes.
Yeah.
He had this cupcake and he couldn't fit it into his mouth, and he's like he used the right here of his hand, the palm of his hand right here to shove it right
I got
in his
more
face.
class than that. Come on.
Yeah.
Over the sink, at least. He was over the sink. I'll give him that. But
Cupcakes all over my face look like Scarface.
I'm like, man, I was like, I've never seen that before.
All right, Damo, last guilty pleasure. Anything in general. Just a general fucking guilty pleasure.
Let me see what I have on my list here that I didn't mention. Here's one. Slim Jims.
You are a Slim Jim guy.
But every time I try another brand, I'm so disappointed, man. I freaking hate them. Like there's that is it Jack's Links or something?
Yeah.
There's that brand. There's a couple other ones. Even that other one, that Takis or something. Remember we were talking about that they make one now. Not the same as a Slim Jim. There's something about how they smoke it or whatever.
I don't like the skin on the Slim Jim.
I think that's what kind of makes it. I think to me.
Yeah, when you pull apart.
You know?
Like, see, I'll keep it in my mouth a little bit and get the skin a little moist on it, and just and rip it right off.
Yeah. Man, I just fucking love Slim Jims.
Mike D. Any guilty pleasure?
Like anything? You mean,
anything could be fucking anything.
I don't know. I mean,
you're sucking on that fucking thing pretty good. How about
just
that?
ready to say
I guess you could say.
What you think?
This is my
thinking the same thing.
Pleasure, yeah.
You're fucking sucking on that thing pretty good.
Little vape, a little 420.
I go to edit the show. I hear, I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's killing me. I didn't even tell him to smell, but he's killing me with all this fucking noise. For me, wrestling. Wrestling's probably my biggest guilty pleasure. I love it.
You know what? I was going to say that, but for me anymore, it's like torture.
Good.
Torture. Monday Night Raw makes my skin crawl.
That's a good line.
Yeah, I got to make you a T-shirt, Mike, that says that.
Monday Night Raw makes my skin crawl.
I mean,
that's a good shirt.
I will say though, if you're talking WWF, WWE, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, but dude, it has to be a guilty pleasure right now because, man, did you really want to
always talk about how bad it is?
Man, yeah. I watch wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan. Like, you know, do you tell somebody like, hey, yeah, I watch this every Monday night? I'm like, Albert watches this every Monday night. Let me watch this. And they tune in and they see all this, you know, grab ass stuff with guys chasing other guys around for this belt. And, you know, they're like, man, what's wrong with Albert?
I've been watching it forever since I was a kid.
I know, but it's like, you couldn't even tell somebody to watch this right now. Like you meet somebody, my interest is, I watch WWF every Monday. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna tune in. No, you can't tell anybody now. It's that bad.
Every time I turn it on, and I'll put it on for a few minutes. I'm probably not giving it like an honest look over, but there's no like super larger than life characters like there used to be, and that's what I missed the most. Now it just seems like this regular Joe buff dudes.
Yeah,
with no personality.
With no personality.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
you're
like
right
they're reading off a script pretty much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to 10 questions. Let's see what we got here.
All right.
We'll start off with an easy one, Damo. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. And I'm not even like a coffee snob at all. I think I just drink it because out of a routine. It's part of a routine now.
Yeah. Mike D.
Coffee. I'm a coffee snob. Not that I go and buy expensive coffee or I don't even drink that Starbucks stuff, but man, I gotta have coffee. I drink at least 2 pots a day.
Wow.
Pots?
2 pots, yeah.
Holy shit!
Between that and sucking on that thing, he's pretty busy.
Oh yeah, man. I'm on a Saturday, man. I'm like up 5 cups of coffee, like in the morning. I'll take a nap. Don't ask me how. And I'll get up and I'll have another pot of coffee.
How many ounces do you think that is? Because I go to Wawa.
These are probably double.
I'll get 20 ounces at least.
These are probably 16-ounce cups I'm drinking. So I think 8 ounces might be like the average amount.
Cup,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I might be going like 16.
I'm like 2 cups a day. 2 big cups a day.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm a coffee guy too. I go, like I said, it's probably part of the routine, but sometimes I just want it. But I could drink coffee and go to sleep. Like it don't wake me up or nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it really does anything for me either.
Oh, it wakes me up.
Yeah, and now when I get it half decaf because I have hypertension and it'll just like
kick in.
Yeah, it'll just like make me shake and raise my blood pressure all the way up. So I always get half decaf. So
if I don't have my coffee, if I don't have enough of my coffee in the morning, I could be a mean, nasty person.
You mean you get happier than this?
If I don't have my coffee, I'm a nasty person.
All right, moving on to the second question. Dame, if you were a porn star, what would your name be?
Didn't we do this one before?
No, we did stripper. It's different.
Man.
On the spot.
Okay. Ooh. Damien Monte Carlo.
That's it. You went with the easy one. It sounds like one already. Comes out with the robe. Yeah. Mike D.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say how this was derived, but at work, this was my porn name, so I just will share it. It's Baron von Bueller.
I see. Did you write it out like your signature? Did you practice this?
No, I haven't done the signature yet. Just a dick print.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
I like the Baron.
Baron's good, yeah.
That's a good name you don't hear too much of,
No.
Yeah, Baron's good. There's only a few Barons I know. Baron.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Johnny Starbuck. I like the name. It's got a ring. Johnny Starbuck. Now appearing, Johnny Starbuck.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Johnny Drip Drip, yeah.
By the way, I do love that name.
That is a great name. Johnny Drip Drip's a great name. All right, Damo. What was your most watched movie as a kid?
Oh man, there were so many of them. Most watched though? Damn. Might get another mention. Second time this show. Second week in a row. Might be Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf, yeah.
Definitely
Love
one
that
of them.
Teen Wolf.
I now I'm thinking about it. Might be Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That was a good one. Yeah, the first one was great.
Like there's not too many movies where I can recite almost every line. Like I was never had that talent, but I think that one I could go pretty much almost every line in the movie.
Mike D.
Man, while we're coming off our guilty pleasures, I'm just going to throw this in there because I did watch this a lot as a kid. I'm going to have to say Caveman.
Wow.
Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr, yeah.
When he falls in the shit.
Was it Dennis Quaid?
That's going back.
Yeah, man. I must have watched the shit out of that movie as a kid.
I
own that on DVD. I don't think I watched it, but I own it on DVD.
That used to be on a lot. HBO.
When we were kids, it was on a lot on HBO.
A lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
I had that on tape, like with 2 other movies, like taping on the VHS.
Did he talk in that movie?
I don't think there was any English until maybe like there was like a couple words at the end of it.
That's kind of what. And man, I haven't seen this movie since I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I don't even think I never even seen the entire movie. I just remember seeing clips of, and I don't remember any dialogue in that movie.
It was kind of clever though, you know, to have a movie like that with like a language, and there was like no, you know, it was just made up. And
I'll have to revisit that
and see if it's that bad.
Yeah.
For me, Scarface. I watched Scarface so much when I was a kid. I just did. I tell you, my parents had a video store, and we would get the videos all the time. Scarface was on all the time. I could recite probably that whole movie.
yeah, that's a good one with a lot of good lines.
Shit, you probably saw a shitload of movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the best, dude. When we had that video store, it was great. Okay, here goes a good one, Dane. Have you ever thrown up when you were in school?
Oh yeah.
The worst.
First day of 5th grade, I think.
You remember? Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Tate.
Oh, wait. Oh,
dude,
I didn't know you went there.
I remember I told him, I was like, it was the first day of school. Like, you know, he's telling us where our desks are going to be and everything. And I said, Mr. Tate, I'm not feeling good. I feel like I'm going to throw up. So he says, I'll never forget it. It's like, okay, but we're not going to call it throwing up. We're going to call it regurgitate. I was like, never heard that fucking word before. I was like, regurgitate? He was like, yeah, regurgitate. And he was like, he told one of the kids to walk me down to the bathroom, so I had to throw up. So I'm down there and nothing happened. So then, I can't throw up. So we go back to the room. I thought it was like, Mr. Tate, I couldn't regurgitate. So
regurgitate.
I couldn't regurgitate. So
Mr. Okay. Tate, regurgitate.
Regurgitate. So now he's giving everybody the seats, you know, and he gives me my desk for the year. And so I'm sitting down, and it's coming up. It's coming up. And I'm banging on the desk, you know, trying to get his attention somehow, because he was near me. I didn't want to fucking throw up on him. Dude, it just spewed all over everywhere. It was a bit of a mess. Funny, I remember that.
I'm glad I found that question.
So, haven't thought about that in years.
There you go. Mike D.
So, well, I'm just because I had a run-in with Mr. Tate. He was never my teacher, but he was a disciplinarian.
He was a prick.
He was a prick.
Yeah.
And there was a point, I think it was my second year in Thomas, where I was just getting in trouble a lot. And I must have been suspended about 3 or 4 times. And it was like usually like stuff that wasn't even my fault. Like you get in a fight, you were getting suspended type of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was a couple of them. So it was like the 4th time I went down to his office, and he's like, this is it. He's like, I see you again. He's like, you're out. I don't want to hear nothing. He's like, it's it. So I was suspended. I came back 2 weeks later. I'm down in his office. And I forget what it was, but I didn't even do anything. It was like a substitute teacher type of thing. I forget exactly what it was. I got sent down to the office. So he looks at me. He's like, Mike, fuck you. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm like, no, Mr. Tate, fuck you. And he was like taken back. Like I'll never forget. He's like, okay, speak. So I told him what happened. He's like, all right, go back up to your classroom. So yeah, I was like, fuck, at that point, I might as well just say something. Like it just shocked the shit out of him, I guess. He's like,
I remember a lot of kids, a lot of people didn't like him, but then it was almost like once you kind of get to know him and he kind of takes a liking to you, then he's like, he was like, cool, you know? I remember a lot of people having that, those type of feelings about him.
So Mike, did you ever throw up in school? Going back to
no, no, I don't think I have. Like in front of you mean like make it to the toilet or just in the middle of the class?
The middle of class.
No, I made it to the toilet somehow.
All right, so I threw up only because somebody else threw up. you see somebody else throw up, and then they whip out the sawdust. Remember the old sawdust?
Yeah.
Whip out the sawdust, and then you just throw up automatically. After you see that, and the fucking smell, it's awful. The sawdust. I remember the sawdust more than anything.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
it absorbs it and makes it easy to scoop up.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fucking sawdust.
It was like the pink sawdust.
So that's what I
It
remember.
turned pink, I remember.
Oh God.
That's definitely what I remember. All right, Damo, would you rather smell like onions or garlic?
Probably gonna go with garlic.
Damo goes with the
Oh,
garlic.
dude, onions, that's a fucking strong scent. And
Yeah.
and it's usually associated with body odor. So
Yeah, there you have it.
I'd rather smell like garlic and keep the vampires away than onions.
Mike D.
I probably do smell like garlic. And onions are tough, man. Like, especially raw onions, man. Like when you eat something like raw onions, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Fried onions, like you kind of like a little gum or brush your teeth afterwards. Those
Yeah, you can
raw
hide
onions, man. Raw onions stick with you. Oh,
Mhm. Yeah.
Hey, we're Italian. I'm going with garlic. Can't help it. Damo, would you rather be criticized or ignored?
Probably criticized. So
You'd
it's
rather
like,
be criticized?
it's usually the people that are jealous or at least they're paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
probably criticized. I mean, at least you're getting some attention. You're ignored all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
am I alive? Am I a ghost?
Yeah.
What's going
Right.
on here?
I'd rather be criticized too. I don't care what people say. That don't bother me. I hate being fucking ignored. I hate it. If I call somebody up and I don't hear back from them, I think something's up, even though there's nothing up. You know what I mean? It's your head starts. I'm like, how come they didn't call me? How come your head starts going weird, even though it's usually nothing. But yeah, I can't stand being ignored. That drives me fucking nuts. I will not be ignored.
Yeah, it's it's like disrespectful.
Yeah, and most of the time people just get caught up and they forget. But in your mind, you're thinking like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? But it's usually not that. Okay, next question. Do you pack a lunch or do you order out? Damon,
I'm an order out guy.
you order out.
Yeah.
Mike D,
Pack a lunch.
you pack a lunch, huh?
Yeah, I'll grab a sandwich from 7-Eleven.
Fucking 7-Eleven, that's like your go-to,
Yeah,
baby.
that's
They
the
should
go-to
sponsor
place,
us.
man.
Yeah, they should sponsor us. I order out every day, pretty much. I mean, my pals in Oregon Express must love me.
You know what? It's like I
Every day.
used to order out, and it's like it's almost like it's too much money.
It is, yeah.
I throw them $15 and $20 out quicker than anything.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like a couple months out of the year where I try to like not order out for lunch, and you'd be surprised at the amount of money that you save.
Oh yeah,
$10-15 a day, easy.
yeah. Oh, dude,
Because-
before I get into work, I'm $20 in.
You
Yeah,
gotta remember,
That'd be
especially
lunch.
if you're ordering alone, man. Like, okay, most places it's like you got to be at least $10 at least.
Right.
So you order a sandwich, it's like $7-8, and then you got to order a side, and then you got to tip them. So it's like $17, like easily.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. You throw, I order lunch. It's $12. It's costing me $16-17 because you're throwing the driver a bone. What are you gonna do?
Even if you pick it up, you go to Burger King or something, and you get one of those meals, number 8 or something, and it's like $10 right there. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It used to be cheap. You used to be able to $5 at McDonald's.
$5-6.
Yeah.
Everything
it's-
was $5, or so you got a sandwich for $5. Everything
Yeah.
was $5 at one time. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and then they tell you, oh, you want small, medium, or large. So I'm always thinking small is so way too small. So I go medium, and a medium is a fucking extra large, So I try to get the small, and a small is really like
Ain't working. That's
a medium or large. Yeah, it's just
that's small ain't working. Damo, if you started in a reality show, what would it be called?
man, I don't know. The unsurreal life. I don't know.
Mike D.
I don't know. High and dry. Maybe the angry asshole.
Mine would be this asshole still doing the same shit. That'd be fine.
Moving furniture.
Yeah, moving furniture. It's a hit show on TV. Moving furniture.
Every week, Al moves the furniture to a new spot.
Oh, dude, that's one of my. You know what? Going back to guilty pleasure for a second, I have a habit of rearranging shit all the time, and then I put it back in the same place it was all the time. I rearranged shit last night.
There was a couple. Chair got moved from one side to the other. That was about it.
After about 2 hours of moving shit, when one thing got changed,
I come in, and I was like, no, put this here. You put this here. You put this here. And it's almost back the way it was.
Yeah.
My wife comes down the steps and she just shakes her head. She's like, again. And my sister was like, no, that don't go there. What are you, a moron? It made sense.
That's because she's got the Ralphie in her, man. That's what Ralphie would say.
Like my father-in-law, yeah.
Oh my God! What are you doing, Albert? What are you're a moron. You don't know nothing, Albert.
Yeah, man. I rearrange shit all the time, Dame. All the time. And it always winds up going back. You
don't know until you try it. So.
Oh, it's the dude. I do it all. It's out of control. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. You run out of room. You know.
Right.
I get more toys and I run out of room. All right, Damo. If you start on, we already did one. Damo, Steve Austin or The Rock? If you had to pick one.
I think back then I would say The Rock, but now I like Austin a lot more.
Here we go, Steve Austin. How about you there, Mike?
I mean, that's just a tough one, but I probably saw more of The Rock. I think The Rock made me laugh more. I think, I'm going to go with The Rock.
I like them both, but I'm going to go with Stone Cold. I'm going to go with Austin. Definitely. All right, last question here. If you had to pick one to be with, Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer Aniston?
I'm a J-Lo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a J-Lo guy.
Put it through the car wash.
Fantastic actress and singer. I mean, you know. I tell people that and they're like, oh, really? You really think so? It's like, no.
For other obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Definitely J-Lo. I mean, I'll give her a pass on A-Rod too. So
wow,
that's strap job.
I'm surprised Mike went with J-Lo. J-Lo's pretty good, but I'm gonna go with Jennifer Aniston around the time she was in the Rockstar movie. That works for me.
No. So now you're like, oh, well, the time she was in. You just said I'm going.
I mean, I could work around it, and I could work around anything with that. But yeah, it's workable.
There was a movie I liked with J-Lo. The Cell. Do you remember that movie?
Cell was great. Yeah,
that was good.
The first one was great.
Yeah. They made a second one. I didn't even know.
There is a second.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. But what's his name? D'Onofrio, man. He's a creepy actor, man. He's good.
Oh, was that the guy who played the main part, right? The main villain. That was kind of neat how they strapped him up in that thing, and I believe it was that suit or something.
Wasn't she in? Was she in Anaconda or one of those type of movies?
Oh,
no, that was Kim Kardashian.
Nah, this one came out in the 90s. I think it was. Anaconda. Yeah, she was in that.
She was.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Terry Flores.
That was her name.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You got anything else? I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Guilty pleasures, mixtapes, and tasty cakes. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.